Call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for the armed forces. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we get roll call?
Counselor Andrews?
Present.
Counselor Flegel? Here. Counselor Nye? Here. Counselor Pearson?
Here.
Counselor Rydell?
Here.
Counselor Scheer? Here. Tripped over my tongue. Counselor Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Miller?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Announcements, everyone, please, if everyone could please silence all cellular devices during the meeting. Thank you. Council members, please remember to turn on your microphones. We have no special visitors today. So at this time, I would like to open up public comment period number 1. Please step to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes.
All right, well, good evening, everyone. My name is Zachary Engel. I live with my wife, Kira, and our 3.5-week-old son, Xander, at 314 East High Street. You may remember us from the January zoning hearing, where this room was not large enough to accommodate all of the community members that showed up in opposition to 4-story luxury apartments going on the 101 North Harrison Street property. That night, local government seemed to work. People were here. We discussed an issue for almost 5 hours. And both sides, it came about, we had some gains and some losses. Compromise builds neighborhoods and communities. Special interests and partisan politics do not. We thought the concern of 4 stories staring immediately into our fenced backyard, where we hoped for our children to play peacefully, were over. For the record, it doesn't matter what type of building was considered for the space. Like any housing, Section 8 contains both good people and some less than good people. Similarly, many good people live in luxury. So did R. Kelly and Jeffrey Epstein. An attentive parent's reaction to an influx of this many people, based on how the economy labels them, is all irrelevant today. It involves being more sheltered and protected because technology and evil can coexist anywhere today. Fast forward to May 26th, the last Borough Council meeting. Horror of horrors, Ventura Real Estate Centaur's Jack Sicko, I apologize if I pronounced his last name wrong, I'm trying, appears at a meeting without the public having any idea. And an ordinance that essentially throws out what town residential means in Palmyra passes. It allows exactly the building specifications he wanted anywhere. Despite it applying to the entire borough, you heard from one developer, catered to their design, and ignored the community voice. It's not like there are numerous poorly maintained structures in the area of 2 square miles that need to be converted into something like this. The special interest was placed ahead of community voice, and I'm greatly saddened by the level of planning that must have gone into drafting and sneaking through Ordinance 841. Tonight is brought to you by the number 12. This new family existed for 12 days before council threw a mortgage underwater in favor of a developer that has been less than reasonable. We've chatted on the phone twice. If that relationship does not approve, this person that pays taxes fails to see the vision. We have 12 business days to understand spot zoning. Tomorrow marks 12 years since I graduated first in the class from our own high school. Between the boards that govern our borough and our schools, I don't recognize the community I grew up in anymore. It is all split decisions, we versus they, and pompous decisions made by groups that only have one agenda. I have plenty of time to bring my anger at late meetings. You're stuck with me now, because we'll never be able to settle without a huge loss. That's part of the reason I was not here in May. I was giving plasma to assist with the 50,000 $5,000 or more in home improvements that we've made in the last 2 years. We refinanced a month before the zoning hearing, and alas, an assessment of the immediate surroundings, including the apartment buzz, resulted in $9,000 of change in evaluation. Quick board decisions pushed for special interest can, in fact, ruin honest families that work really hard in a time when nothing comes easy. My questions that need to be answered this evening are as follows. What are you doing for this family? Mr. DeSico was not kind or caring over the phone. Why should I not vocally oppose this or show my displeasure when in reality all I've wanted at this point are half-hearted apologies about how much this sucks? That's as dark as I'm going to get, I promise. What are you doing for anyone else directly impacted by this project? Everyone with a home that is zoned town residential has a story. You are forcing our hands into drafting the next chapter, really without our consent. This room is overflowing. My third piece is a little more out there. On what planet does it seem like a good idea to draft an ordinance like this that explicitly targets people to work remotely? The COVID era is over. Ventura wants young professionals, and only 6% of stable remote work is entry level. That was a statistic that I had found while researching for this. They're all driving to Dauphin County where the work is, like I do. I have no wife this. There's nothing here that allows you to work in the borough. I'm sorry. And likely parking on streets as close as possible when they have things to take inside. They won't be taking the bus like their landlord suggested some will. This is what happens when you give to an uninformed outsider so much political influence. The existing community that voted for you loses. Anything else I share this evening is not this explicitly prepared. We are angry, hurt, and financially suffering from your latest big decision. Please, give us something. Tell us we don't matter, or find an alternative. Find an honest statement that is straightforward. But I don't want any more half apologies that start with how unfortunate it is, but offer no resolution. We're on the clock, number 12.
That's 5 minutes. Thank you for your comments.
I have 2 paragraphs left. Can I have another, minute?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'd like to close by recognizing the seat held by Councilwoman Nye. I don't believe we've met before, so that's zoning hearing being my last appearance. Board member that is no longer here is the only one that ever made me feel like it was worth being heard without using the term schmooze. Considering that we've gotten 0 from this, there was no schmoozing. And it was just that your foolish phrase from April was that your goal was to make Palmyra a good place to live, work, and raise a family. There's not much work here in the borough that actually promotes people to buy a home here. Palmyra is largely retail, convenience, fast food, and small businesses. We are struggling. Most people that work here do not have salaries aligned with living here. This new family is in the red, working to pay a mortgage just for the privilege of our children going to school here. We are replacing the manufacturing buildings of old that supported the town with homes and no other resolutions. So my question here to the board is ultimately, how do we move forward from this moment while making Palmyra a good place to live, work, and raise a family? We are invested, impacted, and honestly not seeing your end goal at the moment.
Thank you.
Thanks for speaking.
Anyone else for public comment period number 1?
You have to excuse me, I'm not gonna say I'm as professional and organized as this young man. In 53 years of homeownership, I've never been to a meeting like this, but I have to voice my opinion. I live on 631 North Grant Street, and the potholes in the lower end of the alley by Kramer Way have been there for years.
Sir, can we have your name?
The borough knows about it.
Can we have your name?
Donald Darkus.
Donald Darkus.
631 North Grant Street. I use the alley every day, and I had to start going a different direction because I can't maneuver the holes anymore. And the week of Easter, not this past Easter, Easter a year ago, I walked out to my alley to check if the waste picked up my trash and recycling, and I heard a banging sound down in the alley, and I looked, and it was a Burrow truck with a wood chipper hooked on, coming across those potholes, and I can still vision in my mind seeing those two men being tossed around in that truck. Now, that's 14 months ago. You gotta know about those holes. I've never seen potholes so big and deep. And my son would like to get some stone to put in them. I said, well, I gotta check to make sure we can legally do that. Because him and my wife are concerned someone's gonna get hurt or somebody's gonna get a seriously damaged vehicle. So I know this has been going on for years, because I think it was, the years go by so fast, but 3 to 5 years ago, I was told that the borough claimed they had a pile of ash or something to fill holes in. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I've never seen any holes being filled in. And then a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I saw a crew down at Memorial Park on the north side with a backhoe and a crew, and I didn't know what they were doing, but later I saw they dug out the horseshoe pits and put timbers around to make it nicer for horseshoes. Now, I drive through that intersection several times a day for years. I live up there 35 years. And I've never seen anyone throw a horseshoe, but I see people trying to maneuver that alley every day. So I would like to know if there's any plans, if my son and I can get stone and make the holes safe for people. Can I get an answer, or can I leave you my phone number? Somebody can call me and let me know if we can do that?
Leave your phone number with us.
Yeah, okay. You have something I can write it on?
There, come here, sir.
We'll get back to you tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I'll write my name and
Okay,
number.
well, I need my pen, so
Oh, right.
that's for notes, but
Okay.
there's a pen on the,
Okay.
oh,
Okay,
there
let me
you
get
go.
you want my name, address, and phone number?
Yes, and your blood type.
Yeah.
Thank you for your comments then, sir.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Anyone else for public comment period number 1?
I'd like to go for a minute. Good evening, Ruben Woodley, 401 West Pine Street. This marks my 50th year as a Kamara resident, so look forward to my certificate in the mail. Hopefully Tom will sign it. I would like to start off with just a few suggestions. I'm looking at, I don't get to come to the meetings very often, but when I do, I notice on your agenda, there's no list of the council members. It'd be a great suggestion, I think, to list out the members. It'd be easier for us in the crowd to keep track of who's here, who's voting for what, as we move through the meetings. Also, I hear a lot of things being brought up today, and I've been trying to catch some of the meetings online. And I always am concerned, or not concerned, but questioning or wondering what you guys use as a mission statement, or a guiding light to make your decisions. You get posed with a lot of tough choices, and I appreciate the job that you do. I don't know if that would be something that maybe could be added to the agenda as well. I'd like to know what is the direction, what you guys follow when you're making your decisions. The main reason I'm here, I was able to attend the February 10th meeting. There were several citizens here who spoke up about snow removal. I know it's June now and hard to think about snow. But at that meeting, this gentleman over here asked for an investigation or a report to be done. Give us 60 days, let's find out. I'm going back through the old meetings trying to find it. I don't know if I've gotten to it. I just kind of wanted to ask the question, was the report done? Is that something that will be shared
It's on the agenda for tonight.
for tonight?
The
It's
snow
on the
management.
agenda tonight.
Excellent. Very good. I regret that I didn't speak up that night. There were 3 or 4 speakers. I felt like they made the point pretty well. I didn't need to continue. But I guess my main concern, and the thing I'm interested in, is it feels like there's some type of systemic issue behind it. There's an issue with the snow. Now we're into this season, in the street sweeping season. We're 3 months in. We've had street sweeping once on the street of Pine Street. I've had a chance listening to some of the meetings to hear what the borough guys are up to and what they're working on. Potholes, cleaning things up, adding grinders to sewer stations. So I appreciate those guys for sure. Certainly not something any of us want to do. But I guess I don't know if there's a better way you can communicate with the town if there's not gonna be those services provided for that month. Last week, we didn't get our grass clippings or yard waste picked up. There was supposed to be street sweeping, we didn't have that happen. And I heard at one of the meetings, someone talking about Tunnelstown, them being half our size and doing it 3 times a year, making the suggestion that maybe we need to do something like that. We're twice as big and we do it 6 times a year, or we're supposed to do it 6 times a year. I think it would be a great thing if you could somehow notify. Years ago, I used to call in to the borough. You wouldn't get much information. I see now with the technology on the website, you post the dates when that stuff's gonna happen. I don't know if it's possible to go on and say, hey, we had an issue, but we're not gonna be able to get to it. And then more importantly, hey, we can't get to it this week, we'll come out next week, as opposed to just skipping the entire month altogether. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else for public comment period number 1? All right, I'll close public comment period number 1, move on to consent calendar. Approve May 26, 2026 Borough Council meeting minutes, discussion on if appropriate. Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Action and discussion items. A resolution 2026-25, disposal of borough-owned personal property, discussion on if appropriate. Any discussion on this?
Pretty cut and dry.
This is a list that I had mentioned previously that we're finally getting ready at this point to put them on municipal bid or scrap them accordingly because there's no way we can repair them. So,
Make the motion to approve the resolution.
second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. All right. Now we'll move on to reports. With the president's report today, I would like to honor a hometown hero, and with the discussion with Councilman Rydell here, we came up with honoring Master Sergeant Brian Craig of the Pennsylvania Air National Guard of the 193rd Air Operations Group, part of the 193rd Special Operation Wing. He is a lifelong resident of Palmyra, and his first place that he lived here was at his parents' apartment on Main Street. He's had 4 deployments, and 1 being in 2012, Operation Enduring Freedom, 2019, Operation Freedom Sentinel, 2022 and 2023, Operation Spartan Shield, and 2026, Operation Epic Fury. He has also served our community as well, which why I thought he was the best person to do the first person. He was appointed to Borough Council in 2014 and elected in 2015 and was served on Borough Council until 2018. He Lebanon and Dauphin County Coordinator for Congressman Charlie Dent from 2013 to 2018. He's been the Lebanon County Register of Wills and Clerk of Orphans Court for 3 terms from 2018 to present day. He's also served 2011 a Counter-Drug Joint Task Force, Fort Indian Town Gap, 2012 support during Tropical Storm Lee, 2015 World Meeting of Families, the Pope visit to Philadelphia, and 2025 presidential inauguration in Washington, D.C. So this month's hometown hero is Brian Craig, if you could come up.
Thank you.
I just want to say I appreciate everything that you folks do. I know that most of the time you hear people complaining about things, but you all serve for free. You know, we're spend a lot of time here, and we're one generation away from losing the greatest country in the world and one of the greatest communities in that country. And I appreciate what all of you do. And that you folks making the hard decisions. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't, but you're here doing it day in and day out and serving, and that's extremely important. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. All right. Mayor Miller.
Okay, hello, folks. Glad y'all came in to see the meeting today. It's very fantastic. And I am of the same consideration of how the town is really going along, because we live in a great country, a great state. Lebanon County is actually fantastic. Palmyra is working borough is working very hard to keep this town running extremely well, very conservative in a lot of things that we're doing. Maintenance, though, I will agree, we're gonna work on that. That certainly will happen to improve in the future. I am sure that we'll hear about that a little bit later, so I know it's gonna be good things. We are starting to come around, and that's great. The whole town is working well, and I agree, we've had the crew that works for this town, and also this council is fantastic, as we're still trying to make this town as good as we possibly can. And they do it with a lot of free time on their own, and I think they're doing a fantastic job. So be very happy to live in Palmyra, because we live in a great town. And there's a lot of towns around that are a little bit rougher than we're having it, so we're doing a great job and enjoy the town. This kids in school probably smiling, just like us in Palmyra, because school's now ended. They got big smiles, and smiling in Palmyra is a great thing as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Financial report.
Any questions? We're about the same as we were last year. Down to this second month of the second quarter, down to 76,682 over 180 days. So we're still sending out those letters, the second notice letters, and people are still complaining about those letters, and I say good, because that they read them. So, you know, it's just a standard letter that goes out, letting them know what we can and will do, so. And we have people responding to them. So if you get any complaints, say thank you for reading it and pay your bill.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Brenda. All right, Fire Department and EMS report.
So the fire chief was able to extract some data out of our collection software from what each day put in an Excel spreadsheet and shipped it off to everybody. Other than that, the only thing I have is our fund drive will be kicking off next month, so you can look for that develop.
Andy, are you guys looking at a different program for that now? A different server?
Most likely in September.
Okay, thank you.
Anything from the EMS?
It will be on your agenda
Okay.
for the next meeting. We just received it on Monday morning, so I just put it on the next agenda.
All right, thank you. All right, Western Lebanon County Regional Police Department. Chief Winters?
We have one guy in the field training program. He's doing fine, so hopefully in the next couple weeks, he can be released and be on his own. And we just started looking to fill our last vacant position. So that's about it, unless you folks have anything for me. Very good.
All right, thank you, Chief. Planning Commission. The commission will meet on June 24th, 2026 to consider ordinance number 843.
That's the ordinance concerning amusement arcades in the central business district.
All right, Public Works Department. Superintendent's monthly report.
First off, I'd like to apologize the way I'm dressed. I was eating dinner at my grandmother's house and I thought I had shoes in the car.
Good.
At least you have your hat on.
But first I'd like to say, we had our summer help come this month, as I told you guys last month. They started the second week. So the first 2 weeks that they were here, we did a lot of training them to make sure they were trained up with what they know to do, because the sooner we get them trained, the easier it is for us, because we can send them out alone and do stuff. We've had Logan train them in mowing grass and doing basically our maintenance routine stuff that doesn't require CDL or heavy equipment, all our little stuff. We've been have Logan train them on that. Logan's done a fantastic job leading the crew. He's doing amazing. So, but with that, so since they were here helping us mow, it's been opening a lot more other doors for us, and we had a lot of other patchwork around town that we needed to do. Some sewer pipe we dug up that we talked about last month. Some different miscellaneous holes. We had a little hole out here in front of the firehouse that we had to cut up. So that opened a huge door for us on a Thursday and Friday that they were able to get done mowing by Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday they were actually able to help us do hot patch in those holes, and we actually laid 30,000 pounds of asphalt in 2 days. So the guys did fantastic. It was a lot of stress, but we got everything done. The guys worked well together, and it worked out great. So other than that, street sweeping, I wanted to mention that. So we had an issue with the street sweeper. It would have been last month. So we had an issue with the pony motor on the back of the street sweeper. So the way our street sweeper is designed is our engine, our PTO engine is a John Deere engine. So any issues that we have with that, it has to go to John Deere. So we had issues with that, but we didn't only have issues with that, we had issues with the actual street sweeping components and all that stuff, which would be Golden Equipment's issue. So the general rule of thumb that we've found out from the past, how many years of dealing with Golden Equipment is, when you send something out like that, it's not a 3, 4, 5 day fix. It's like you send it out in 2, 3, 4 weeks. So we sent it out to get serviced on the PTO, and it took, I'd say, probably about 2 to 3 weeks to get done. We got that back, and right when we get that back, obviously, we had some other issues that we needed to attend to, but then they had to go to Golden Equipment. So I called them, we dropped it off up there. They looked at it, we got our quote today. They told us by the earliest it would be done in 2 weeks, by the earliest, if they can get to it. Now, obviously, there was some talk about how to communicate that to the residents. That's something me and Brenda and we have to discuss about. I obviously don't handle that side of everything. Brenda's the face on everything, so
We'll work on that.
we're gonna try our best to make sure everybody's involved and knows what's going on.
Points were taken
Yeah.
from public comment.
So, other than that, I heard some things about alleys, and I'm hearing you. Trust me, there's a long list of alleys that we have to do, and I'm trying my best to get on as soon as I possibly can. But when we have a alley to that magnitude where we have some issues with, we have some large potholes that can't just get filled in, the standard practice is that you have to mill up the whole alley. And you guys probably know Kramer Way. That's a long stretch of road. So we have our milling head on our skid loader is only 36 inches. So as you can imagine, if we wanted to mill those up, we would have to go all the way up the alley, all the way back, and then back up like a couple times. So by any means, we will get to it. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to try to fit it in the schedule. we're gonna see where it best fits for us. We have some stormwater projects we have to do, but I can definitely put that on the schedule and see where we can fit that in and mill up that road and then repack it and roll it down for you guys. So, I mean, that's the best I can do is right now. I don't have a time frame. We have some stuff going on, but I'm gonna try to get to it. Then other than that, I mean, this week we've been, you guys saw the office, we're working on remulching the office, moving some plants around, making it look more friendly, more, inviting, so that's what we've been up to. The guys have been great. I wanna thank the guys again. They're fantastic to work with. You guys are killing it, so.
Yeah, thank you guys for us. You guys are working hard and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
These reports are looking nicer and nicer.
Yeah.
They look better. They look better and better all the time.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
to show what's being
Yeah.
done and,
For what we usually
Yeah.
get, yeah, right.
These are awesome.
yeah.
Step above.
These are available online too after the,
Yes,
yeah.
that is,
So I would encourage residents to look at these. This is,
right.
We've
made those available under the board committee agendas and minutes.
Yeah.
There's a segment there for reports.
yeah.
Kudos to you for spending time with your grandma.
All right, thanks, guys.
No,
Thank you, Elijah.
Yeah.
Borough Properties. Borough Properties.
Oh, you're already?
Yep.
Sure. You're waiting for the woman who can't hear a thing. Borough Properties is really actually nothing to report, other than 325 South Railroad. We have put off the landscaping in this building for years, and it started to show that we've been putting it off. So one of the things the Public Works Department wanted to do was to dress it up. We know that we can't necessarily do a lot of planting this time of year. We'll revisit in the fall, but at least they're dressing it up. Our defined lawn areas are no longer defined, so they want to cut them in and make it look good, because after all, this is our face. So, nothing else in terms of anything for the other properties.
All right.
Cemetery, there's nothing.
Cemetery, parks.
Skipped right over cemeteries, huh? You don't want to talk about them, huh?
Cemetery and the
Yeah.
parks.
They're residents too, you know.
They're just done paying taxes.
So,
They do
parks, I took Kim around on Monday morning and we looked at all the parks. The only one we didn't stop at was the Heritage Park. But
Right.
that's the small one in the middle of a neighborhood that we'll have to make it a point to get you to. It's a nice one. Showed him around the different areas for the parks, and we have some nice parks. Southeast Park is phenomenal now. I mean, that paving made a world of difference in that park.
Yeah.
It really, if you
Yeah,
haven't
parking
been
lot
there,
looks awesome.
you need to just drive through the park. It's wonderful. And our Public Works crew has, they've purchased 4x4 timbers. They want to outline the tot lot so that the playground mulch stays in the tot lot, because it has a tendency to be dragged out into the walking paths, and that doesn't make your walking path safe. So they have that project on the work. So they're looking at ways to improve the visibility of the town while also dealing with some of the issues that we've been dealing with for years in our alleys. So they try to designate one day out of every week to just go work on an alley, but it doesn't always happen. I don't have anything for refuse and recycling or the sewer system right now. Everything is holding well. I will tell you that, though, with the sewer system, Pump Station 3, the relocation project, we did have a Zoom meeting or Teams meeting with the property owners, the property maintenance company, our engineer, our solicitor. Kim and I were in on that, and as well as an environmental group that represents the owners. And We've been waiting for them to finally give us direction on the easement agreement so we can start breaking ground, and we made great headway. Joselle has created the easement according to, Pennsylvania law, sent it to the gentleman that is in Texas, and it came back redlined, you don't even recognize it. So they're going back and forth on that right now. So we'll get there. But until we have assurance that the easement agreement is going to be okay, and then have all, you all take action on it, we're not breaking ground yet, so.
Sinkholes.
We're watching the one at 35 West Walnut. I don't even want to comment. I'm not going to jinx it. It's been closed and paved, and we're going to go from there, but we'll keep an eye on it. And nothing new at 900 East Cherry, or the 900 block of East Cherry Street Detention Basin. It's the same address, but it's two areas in that area.
Stormwater management.
Really nothing to report there. We're doing well with, haven't had any complaints or issues. Haven't had any rain.
Street and alley maintenance.
As I mentioned before, street and alley maintenance, they try to dedicate one day out of every week to work on an alley somewhere, and it doesn't always happen, but that's the focus, to take one day out of a week and try to fix an alley. The alleys, whether they're paved or not paved, they're bad. There's very few that are in decent shape. The only ones that are in decent shape are the ones that they fixed, and I can guarantee you next year at this time we're going to be talking about them again. So it's a slow process, but we're going to work on them as we can.
Traffic signals.
Nothing new there.
All right. And anything else for the Public Works Department?
No?
No? All right. How about the solicitor's report?
Just the fact that she has been working with Pump Station 3 owners of that land, that's been her focus. She is actually getting ready to leave on vacation. She'll be out on the 16th of June and won't be back until the 5th of July. So, she's trying to get things wrapped up so that we have things in hand that we can move forward on.
Zoning and code enforcement.
You received the report. Do you have any questions? And for those that don't know, if you do have a complaint, like a codes enforcement complaint, you can go online to our website and enter that. There is a system available to enter any type of a complaint for a codes violation. And it's anonymous. I mean, you do have to enter your information, but we are not allowed to share that, so.
Brings us then to the Borough Manager's report.
Good evening. It's been a busy week. It's a great week. And I appreciate all of you stopping by. It's been much, much appreciated. And yes, I'm still in my office. I did want to mention, though, with regard to code enforcement, we happened to spot a particular property during the course of our tour, and we've turned that over to the code enforcement officer. It's a site that needs some serious help. So.
Well, you know it is when the new guy on his first day, and you drive by and he goes, "Oh my," you know that's going to be a code enforcement report.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to reporting success on that one.
Yeah.
So, with regard to snow and ice management and shipping, all of you who happen to follow the website will notice that these are two documents that will be covered in detail with regard to what our plans are, what our guidelines are on how we prepare for upcoming snow in the fall and winter. And we'll give you an idea of the different stages we get to in terms of what happens before the storm, and then depending upon what we believe is gonna happen during the storm, how much snow will accumulate, we come up with the plans on what the priorities are to move forward in those areas and adjust accordingly. As with all types of guidelines, they are guidelines, and they are subject to the first engagement, and whatever has to be done to make modifications to that over time, we will do that. But in the interim, I encourage you to check on the newsletter and also the website, and you'll get a full sense as to what is necessary and what we're gonna be doing in the fall. Also, we'll be talking about the chipping guidelines and things we would prefer that you didn't do, like put entire trees out for us to pick up. That's a little beyond our abilities. Also, you know, the branches, keep them 1 to 3 inches. That makes it possible for us to move them. Don't have root balls, stones, and metal and other materials within the materials that we're picking up. Those can damage the equipment that we use and also can injure our public works crew. So we ask that you be diligent about that. And chipping is scheduled this year from April to October. And once again, it'll be on the website. Please, if you have any questions, let us know, and we'll make necessary changes to it as circumstances may develop and require. Thank you very much.
For the purposes, though, for us to move forward with this, everybody on council is okay with the guidelines as they have been presented?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I do have a question. Who actually is the highway superintendent? Is that Elijah or is,
That's Elijah.
okay. All right, I'm just curious.
I just had one question, just for clarification. What is a feeder road? What do you mean by feeder road?
Feeder roads are, well, we have multiple state roads,
Okay,
okay? We have one federal designated road,
okay,
okay? And then the other roads that we have are the ones that feed into that, into those
Okay.
main.
okay. I never heard them called feeder roads before, that's why I wasn't sure what feeder was. Okay, thank you.
Anything else? All right. No communications? Anybody have any other business? Karen?
No.
No?
I do.
Go ahead.
So, last Sunday through Wednesday, Councilwoman Scheer, Mayor Miller, myself, attended the Pennsylvania State Boroughs Association Conference. Councilman Pearson, President Wilson, and Councilwoman Flegel spent a day each there, and it was very enlightening and very, learning new things what goes on with the boroughs and learning things that are actually out there, that certain House and legislative bills are out there that we're looking at to either oppose or go with to help the boroughs out. The one big one I know it's out there is trying to get the state, to get PennDOT to fix our stormwater on state roads. They fix township roads, they don't fix boroughs. So that's one of the big things they're working on. But it also gave me a chance to get to know Councilwoman Scheer and Mayor Miller a lot better over 3 days, because we spent a lot of time together. And just like to thank the borough for getting us the information and sending us.
Yes, thank you. It was, the day that I went, it was a wonderful time.
I have a lot of information.
I'm still on information overload, but
Yeah.
I'll get there.
I'm going through everything that I gathered. It might take me another week. Seriously?
Yeah, there's a lot of information there.
Anything else? Beth? Anything? All right.
I do have one thing that I would like to say. This last 2 weeks have been wonderful for me. Since Kim has come on board, he's initiated a mandatory, well, not mandatory, but a Monday morning staff meeting, just a quick catch up on, what their plans are for the week, and it's been well received by all of our employees. It's a good communication tool, so I actually am, and today he left and went out driving around to learn the town, and I was going to actually, throw popcorn behind his car. I was afraid he wouldn't find his way back, but he did. So, and it has been an ease. I don't feel personally, I don't feel pressured now that there's somebody quite capable to step up and help with what's going on here. So I think you made a great choice, and I'm looking forward to the next 200 and some days working with him to,
Not that you're counting.
not that I'm counting, but, getting him on board and maybe planning for the next step. So, good choice.
And everyone, including the dais, has been extremely supportive, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, at this time, I'd like to open up public comment period number 2. Please step to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Anybody else?
I have 1 minute.
Yeah, go for it.
You mentioned the zoning, and you gave this fellow a tour of and you mentioned the program on the computer. Now, I'm an older gentleman that's computer illiterate, but I count on the borough to patrol the, now,
They
you
do.
were on a tour, do you have people that patrol the streets and alleys?
Yes, we do.
You do?
We have one individual who serves as our zoning and codes officer.
Okay.
The problem is he has been inundated with zoning, and we thought we would be in a period of time when it would be sort of slowing down. It has not slowed down. And he has a certain number of days of which he has to evaluate the zoning applications that come in according to, the municipal planning codes. So that's been taking a lot of his time.
So it sounds like that department needs an extra hand or two.
Well, that's a budget discussion for this
Well,
group. No,
discuss it.
but thank you for that.
And one of the other things is,
Oh, yeah, it could be. No, I heard it. I don't know, I just, no,
It's his neighbor.
Thank you for your comments.
and sir, just want to let you know that council members and the mayor, when we're out, we see stuff, we do let our zoning guy know.
okay, well, yeah, okay.
And I would also, we did have 2 personnel in those departments, and 1 had left, and last year we didn't actually get that in the budget. And I am a strong person to believe we do need to have another employee to get that done, so we can get this work done in the town. So I would highly recommend it, so I hope that, yeah, and I think the council definitely understands. Yeah, they'll do good.
Anybody else for public comment period number 2?
All right. This one's not pre-written. It's gonna be a little more out of it. Mayor Miller, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little upset.
Okay.
Keep smiling. I moved back here because I grew up here. I was supposed to be the best and brightest of this community. Hard things in life came up. And a difficult job in the middle of a pandemic, not in Palmyra, in Dairy Township. I met my wife, and we moved here because I never pictured ever having a family anywhere else. I stand by what the school district produced. I will still continue to say that Mr. Raby's AP Calc class is harder than any undergraduate class I ever took to get a bachelor's.
I second that.
Like, easiest 5 on an AP exam I ever got. He taught it that well, but it's been difficult, and you come back because you want that for the next generation. And it feels like I'm really, really stuck. It feels like, I had really hoped, and I went into this project objectively when I was blindsided by a call from Jack DeSicco. I have no idea where he got my cell number. And he apologized and he said that he had numbers for previous homeowners. Like, how do you not know who your immediate neighbors are, especially with a major project that size? You should know. And you would have a conversation, and if you agreed on something and wanted to create a luxury town where everyone is smiling, you wouldn't end up with someone opposed like me. Right? This is supposed to be what our community represents, and this is what we want. this is upsetting, and I don't mean this to be offensive, I'll be honest. I grew up in,
Understood.
I grew up in South Londonderry Township, so, the last mayor that I would have recognized by last name without having to actually start looking into political things was Butts. I haven't really, kept up with anything since. And, I've said on social media, I will be honest and say now, objectively, if you had lined up a bunch of people and said, pick out the mayor, I wouldn't have been able to do that before your nameplates this evening.
Okay, that's all right.
So, it's really hard. I want to believe. I put a lot of work into this. Like I said, we both work nearby, but we made it work out. I currently work for a second chance company, and I do HR and payroll advocacy for former felons. And I go and I listen to a lot of things, and people who don't have homes, and people who don't have a reason to smile at all. People who live in their company vehicles sometimes. I face a lot of darkness, and I come home and waved from setbacks now. There's gonna be a 54-foot apartment building next to me, due west, so the sun will set a little bit earlier on East High Street. I don't know if that changes what sort of plants I can put in or not. I haven't planted anything else out in our mulch because, I don't know if it's gonna become a part of the right of way and, where the water is gonna go. And it really, really stinks to have to put your own plans on hold for that. I have my own plans for that block with my wife, a 2-bed, 1-bath apartment, or not apartment, oh gosh. 2-bed, 1-bath home, isn't what you necessarily picture forever, but you're kind of left at a point where you have to redesign it and figure it out, because at this point, no one's ever gonna put into it. So we bought it for $215,000, we refinanced it, at least $50,000. Seller's fees, you'd be talking $300,000 just to break even and move somewhere else in the borough. That's a lot for a new family who's doing the first-time home buyer thing and trying to do things the right way to encounter. I know this isn't this board or this forum. It is really hard to watch the school board right now. I don't want to get into that or anything else.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yes.
I think
All of us agree.
I think in the particular project that I'm referencing, right, it's been one for a long time where the school board and the borough aren't necessarily on the same page. Otherwise, the lawyers probably would have gone the same direction. I think that's a fair assessment. So I struggle. I come home from work and I look at what's next to me and it's hard. I've shared photos of people sledding down the state's right of way there on the hill through where the sinkhole is. I've seen the sled tracks actually end up literally less than 6 inches from the running board on my truck. And I'm like, wow, someone just went through all of that, and yet here we are, me as the property owner, him as the developer, and the state as the right of way showing up before the borough, all debating over who's actually gonna take accountability for this. That is really hard to navigate. It shouldn't be this hard. Like I said, I came back, I wanted something simple. I wanted to believe, like I said, in our schooling that exists, and I still do. We always make it through difficult times. But in the 2 years that we've lived here, there hasn't been much winning. It's felt like a lot of losing.
All right. Thank you for your comments.
And I understand, and I appreciate that you came in and spoke with us. And our goal, which you understand you've seen the town for the last 2 years, has been very difficult. And that's why we're trying to make Palmyra the smiling town, because it is a good town. The vast majority is very good, but it's okay to have the pressures that you may have, that other folks will have. But we're looking at the entire community, and we're trying to make this town better, but we're also very cost effective in doing so. So you can certainly come in and express this, which I really appreciate that you have. But I also have a lot of other folks that come to me and definitely want to contribute to making the town as good as they possibly can. So we're trying to do it both ways. We're being conservative, but we're also understanding that Palmyra, we need to keep it, just maintain it and do it well. And that's what we're doing.
Can I ask a serious rebuttal? Is that cool?
I have no objections if you don't.
All right, so, I've had to consider what's going in next to us. We're talking big buildings, lots of people, one way or another, whether he sells or not. This was a point that I wrote out. Whether it is Section 8 housing, or people who live and work remotely, or people who live here and have to commute because they're young professionals and that's what the developer wants. They're going to Dauphin County, they're working at the med center. In my conversations with the developer, that's explicitly what he said. I'm targeting med center employees and people. That is people who interact with the failures of the American healthcare system, issues like abortion, other major things. And honestly, during any sort of outcome there, I don't think any major project that has been envisioned results with people that vote largely conservative. And
Okay.
that's as a lifelong conservative.
Yeah.
I don't see it. And right now, there isn't much smiling on my side of things.
Understood?
Yeah, there's a lot of frowning.
That's fine. And it's understandable because there's no way that every person is 100% happy. There will always be some issues that you may have in this particular instance. So that's why you got to come in and speak to the Borough Council and myself. And we got to listen to it, but we also get to listen to the, 70 other thousand people that are in this town to try to make it better. And that's what we do.
There are 70,000 people.
7,000.
7,000.
7,000. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
My question would be, right, we just passed an ordinance that allows this to happen anywhere else in town. So my first question is, where else are we gonna picture something like this? Because I would certainly want anyone else who's gonna buy here to know that they may be this impacted. Honestly, in this back and forth here.
Well, we don't know what's gonna happen in the future or anything like that, but again, like I had said, you were able to come in here and speak, and we're a council and we're a borough with a mayor, and we have progressed the way the town should go. In the future, you can look for someone else to elect to run this, because just like in every legal way of doing business, everyone that's in a town, you bring in a council to do things. If it's the state, you have the state Congress and senators, and that's how and they make those decisions. So it works the same way.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
I don't
so,
have a problem with
and we
telling
gave
everyone
you feel differently on this particular instance,
here.
which is
You
understandable.
acknowledged this issue this evening. You went through the entire meeting minutes and didn't even give me the time of day as a board
Right,
to discuss
because-
what I shared. And you know what, honestly, I would vote Democrat to make you not the mayor and after your next election. And on that, I'm gonna
All right,
end my
that's,
Okay,
that's enough.
yeah, I'm done, thank you, I apologize.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, anybody else for public comment period number 2? All right, I'll close public comment period number 2. Announcements, Borough Council will conduct its next public meeting on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026, and Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, beginning at 7 PM. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.